Killer. Beats in the hood.
What it good be? Hopefully with the it's your boy N.O.R.E.
What up, it's DJ EFN.
And this is Drink Champs Happy Hour. Make some noise! Today, if you ask me in 1996 when I started my career, would I be sitting here interviewing anybody, let alone interviewing a person who runs my city, literally, who's the mayor of our city, who looks like us, dresses like us, acts like us. It's like what is it? We gotta call him the FUBU or the mayors. You know what I'm saying? Dope as hell. They call him the nightlife mayor. And it's crazy because I met him at night. You know, legalized bud from what I know from my city. I got arrested so many times. I stopped smoking bud outside. I was just, and now you go to, but this man is great. He's great for us. I want to salute him. We want to give him his flowers. We got Mr. Eric Adams, the motherfucking mayor of New York City in the building. Now, off top, I saw your Breakfast Club interview. We're not gonna go that political like that. We're gonna ask you some questions. That was crazy. I was like, holy moly, guacamole, you was trapped. They set you up. But let's talk about your music history.
Yeah, but go back for a moment. Because we need to really lay some groundwork. People see the interview and say, you know, you were set up. I could never be set up because I'm authentic and I'm good in any setting.
That's right.
You know, because I'm true. I'm not new to this. I'm true to this.
That's right.
And, you know, we need to really connect where I am and the role that cats like you play.
Right.
You know, this is 50 years of hip hop.
Right, 50 years.
And you know, people say I'm the hip hop mayor.
Hip hop mayor.
I grew up listening to hip hop and it inspired me throughout. You know, it inspired me when I was going through some hard times. I was able to throw on hip hop, and I think brothers who were part of that music genre should not allow themselves to be relegated to saying that you were just the music folks. No, if you do an analysis of where we are right now in the country, the first African American to be the leader of a party in Congress is Hakeem Jeffries, hip hop.
All right.
That's in Jersey.
And no, he's in Washington, D.C.
Okay.
Letitia James, the most important attorney general in the country, grew up in hip-hop.
Wow.
Jumaane Williams, hip-hop.
Wow.
Eric Adams, hip-hop. Wow. Adrian Adams, the leader of the Speaker, hip-hop. 4 of the black mayors that's running the major cities in America, Chicago, Los Angeles, Houston, New York, all hip-hop.
And that's where the migrants are coming to, right?
Exactly. We're gonna dig into that. But what I want to show is that we all grew up and the seeds were planted in hip hop. So the fruits of our harvest right now, you know, I am the most important mayor on the globe. On the globe. And so you guys should be celebrating, you know, this is who we made.
Right.
This is who all of this leadership you see right now is what you guys made. I keep telling folks, when we celebrated the 50 years of hip hop, it was the coming together of all of that power finally getting together. But now the question is, with all of this chocolate, what are we going to do with it? We got to do something with it. We got to make some real changes because people have been playing us. Black folks have been played for years, and we got to be willing to use this power correctly.
Now, I lived in New York City my whole life, born and raised, right? And, you know, there's been mayors that come around. There's been a couple of mayors, I believe, David Dinkins
First black mayor.
visited my neighborhood. But it was so dope to say, yo, I met the mayor, and they're like, wait, I met him at Nas party. Like that was like hip hop to me. Like meeting the mayor at fucking Nas party. Like how do you balance that? Like by being like a mayor, but still like you know what I mean? Like, because that was dope that I speak to you at my friend's party. So, like, how you balance that?
And Nas is doing some great things. And it is a balance because I don't fit the mold. And I didn't go in to fit the mold. I went in to break the mold. And when you do an analysis, I'm perfectly imperfect, brother. Growing up in South Jamaica, Queens, I know you left right. Growing up in South Jamaica, Queens, running numbers, buying a nickel bag, making 8 joints so mommy could put some food on the table. I used to walk in the classroom. They used to have in the back of the chair the dumb student. People used to mock me. I used to wake up every morning and pray, God, don't let me read, because people would mimic me throughout the day and say, let's act like we Eric reading. And I didn't it wasn't until I stumbled into college that I learned that I was dyslexic. It wasn't that I was dumb, I was dyslexic.
I'm dyslexic.
And you're dyslexic.
Yeah, I'm dyslexic as well, yeah. And I'm a Virgo too. You're a Virgo, right?
You know what I'm saying?
I'm my little man. All right, look at
and so it's that when I'm in these settings, and it's so important because my brother and I, we got arrested at 15 103rd Precinct. I need cats that are in class right now and don't believe they can learn. Say, wait a minute, my mayor went through this. I need cats that are on Rikers right now. I've been on Rikers more than any man in the history of the city. I got rebaptized on Rikers a couple of weeks ago with a group of inmates because I wanted them to know, listen, man, y'all need to know I'm you. I've been here with you. And if we take and funnel, like look what you're doing, what you brothers are doing. You've taken your street skills. Because that's education. That's academics too. People think academics is just because you're in college. No, academics is. I knew the economics by taking a nickel bag and making 8 joints. Man, that's economics.
I ain't gonna lie. What kind of nickel bags did you have? Because I ain't gonna lie. I heard you say it earlier, and I was like, wait a minute. You know what I mean? Like I made 2 out of a dime, but like 8 out of a nickel.
You stretch. You stretch.
But it was different times. It was different times.
We weren't doing blunts.
Oh, you were doing joints. That's right.
It was just a joint. And so it was like, you would be blown away what we learned, and that is transferable. When you look at what Fat Cat Nichols and those other cats were doing, those are great economists. But you can transfer it into the empower that you want.
It's true. It's like a lot of hustlers can make great managers in the music business.
Definitely.
You know what I mean? Because of the gift of gab. But hold on. So this is what I want to ask you, right? I go worldwide, right?
Yes.
And if a person is from New York and they ask me where am I from, I immediately say Queens.
Right.
If a person is not from New York and they ask me where I'm from, I automatically say New York, right? So I want to play a game with you. Like, what do you think you're more, Queens? Because I read that you're born in Brooklyn, but then you was raised in Queens, right? So what do you claim more, Queens or New York?
Brooklyn.
Brooklyn? Okay, then now we're gonna battle. All right, cool. So you're gonna name people. All right, cool. So you're gonna name people from Brooklyn that's famous in Congress, whatever, right? I'm gonna name people from Queens.
Right.
You're gonna name people from the Bronx.
Okay.
All right, cool. We're gonna play. This is Mike's off, by the way. This is Mike's off. We got him as co-host. We just go to New York shit now. Fuck, I was thrown off. I thought he was gonna pick New York. I thought he was gonna pick Queens.
Miami will mediate.
Okay, cool. So you're gonna run the timer. How about that? Okay. How much time do you think we should have?
You want to time yourself?
Yeah, I mean, we can't just be Jumanji out this motherfucker. Like, come on. So,
What do you think?
3 minutes, like a boxing fight?
Per person?
No, it's because he goes, I go.
3 minutes.
You know what I mean? Okay, just the Bronx, right?
Thank you.
Just Brooklyn.
Yes.
And I'm gonna do me some vodka and club soda. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I'm outside. I'm gonna have a drink with the mayor. The mayor gonna drink, goddamn. Cool. We're gonna have some fun today. Okay. Where's the chalkboard at? Okay. So I'm gonna start it off.
When you start, I start the timer.
Okay. Remember, people from the Bronx, people from Brooklyn,
Yes.
people from Queens. I feel like I got it easy. And anybody, y'all can help me out. If I forget, y'all can help anybody. You got to throw some shit out there. It's okay. Yo, we got Mr. Lee writing.
Yes, sir.
This is the school system of New York City. We're gonna show you how fucked up the school system of New York City is right now, because this nigga writing. Why you got everybody writing? Give it to the girl or something. Give it to, I'm not convinced that him writing. He don't speak right. How you gonna write?
Imagine he writes immaculately.
Come on, you ready? You ready? You got it? Let me see. We need to see the board. Yeah. Okay. All right.
This will be interesting.
Being that you the guest, we're gonna let you go first. Brooklyn. Name somebody. Famous.
Jay-Z.
Jay-Z. That's a good one. Melly Mel. 50 Cent.
Bernard King.
Fat Joe.
Tony Yayo.
Some of my folks from come on, Biggie.
Yeah.
Biggie.
Okay.
Yes.
KRS-One.
Mobb Deep.
MOP.
Yes, MOP. See, I got. That's right.
Kool Herc.
Cormega.
Give me another one. Come on, crowd.
Yeah, I got two.
Okay. ODB.
Oh, Dirty Bastard.
Okay.
That's right.
Remy.
Who?
Remy.
Okay. Donald Trump. Fucked y'all up with that one. Nobody want to claim him.
Dude, I'm asking to say Bill Clinton. Isn't he from Brooklyn? No, that was bullshit. No. Yes, Big Daddy Kane. More babies was made off of his music.
Funk Flex, he said. Kenny Anderson.
Steph Marbury.
J-Lo.
Who?
J-Lo.
J-Lo?
You got
Okay,
good
you
rundown.
went low. All right. Russell Simmons.
Or Mike Tyson.
Big Mike Tyson.
Come on,
Big Mike Tyson.
Cardi B.
Run DMC. Cardi B.
He said Cardi B, then Run DMC. Come on, DJ. DJ's over there.
Ooh. Stetsasonic. Okay, I'll take that. Stetsasonic. Yeah.
Grandmaster Caz.
Cass. Yeah.
Nicki Minaj.
What's my Little Kim?
Ooh.
Little Kim.
You got 30 seconds on the clock.
My man Peter Guns.
MC Shan.
Yes, right. And Master C.
Pop. Was from the Bronx.
Marley Marl. Woo. See, we're gonna perfect this game.
It's the first time we do it.
Yes, it's the first time.
Oh, you said Molly Wine?
Yeah.
That's time.
Yeah, all right.
We're counting them all. I think we're pretty close. I think it's pretty close. Count how many names. Why they count?
Why Sean Price for Brooklyn, yeah?
Wait, none.
All right. Yeah, each one. Yeah, come on. See, I told you. Hey, Diego, that's the reason why I told you to get the board. This is the reason why, bro. You and Eric, come on. Y'all guys in my car. Y'all took it uptown for no reason. So. Ooh. Oh, damn. Shit, you ain't see me in a minute, Jamie. Jesus. This was
the time. We're having early drinks.
Yes. I remember bounce around with subjects.
Feel free, man. Flow. Let it flow.
I remember I went to New Orleans. I had the #1 record. It was 1998. Best year of my life. Went to New Orleans. I've traveled around the world. Went to New Orleans. Met with Juvenile. Because they, that's people, it wasn't checking in and none of that shit. So I went to see him. We went for the Ritz-Carlton. 4 Rats just came out. I said, holy shit, I made fun of New Orleans all day for years. years. I was like, "Whoa, motherfucking, they got the best food, but your shit is motherfucking." And then recently, Juvenile called me. I was like, "Do you see what's going on with your city?" I had no defense.
Right.
What do I do to defend myself against Juvenile? Because they're trying to tell me that the city is full with rodents.
The goddamn country is filled with rodents.
No, but it's different now.
I had the rack and the pizza slices.
Wait, chill out, man. Oh yeah, that was in New York. But
and the number one thing is when we came in, you're right. The rat complaints were through the roof, and you know what? Nothing could traumatize your day more than a rat.
These are not normal rats.
Especially the ones that's not scared. Like, you go like this and they don't move. You're like, wait a minute, you won. They did like, you won. Yeah.
But what we did.
Salute, goddamn. Hey!
What we did, we zeroed in on it. We hired what New Orleans didn't do. We hired a rat czar.
Ooh.
Right. And what we found, the number one reason that there's so many rodents on the street.
Plastic bags.
There you go. Plastic bags. You know, and the previous mayor came up with these mint plastic bags that were supposed to scare rats. Those rats are like, man, are you kidding me?
Right, yeah. They're little cats.
Right.
Yeah.
And so we zeroed in on it, and now rats complaint across the city, they have gone down. And then what we call rat mitigation zones, which is like a high level, they've also have gone down. We're going to move to take all our trash off the streets, out of plastic bags, and we're going to containerize it. Everybody's told us it was going to take 5 years. I said, no, that's too long. We're going to do it in 2.5 years. We're going to containerize all our garbage. It's going to be, everything is going to go into containers. So you're going to be able to call him back and tell him how you like me now.
Because, you know what I'm saying? I like to say, even though I don't live in New York City now, that's still my city. I can never, like, anywhere I go, as soon as I talk, they say, you from New York. Like, because this is, so,
and we're moving, man. We're not surviving. We're thriving.
Right.
You know, on a number of occasions when we came into the city, no one wanted to be on the subway system. We were dealing with, you know, some real issues economically coming out of COVID. Remember when I came in, we were still in COVID. You know, it's just a slew of problems. All that has turned around. Now people are hating, don't want to show what it is, because there's a feeling that, you know, black and brown mayors can't manage. But we manage the hell out of the city. There's independent reviewers who look at the city and determine, are we going to raise your bond rating based on your ability to manage it? They raise my bond rating. They say this cat has taken on 180,000 migrants, asylum seekers. You know that. You know
we got to talk about right.
Yeah, and folks, because I see it here. As I was moving, I'm seeing, you know, some indicators here, and folks, you know, black folks, man, they like, you know, Eric, what you doing, man? You giving away the whole city. You know, mayors can't stop buses from coming in their city.
Right.
Mayors can't say that you're in the city, so I can't give you 3 meals a day, a place to sleep. That's against the law.
Yeah.
It's against the law for me to even allow them to work.
Right.
I can't even allow them to work. And that's all they said they want to do. They said, listen, we want to work, man. We don't want anything free from you.
Because doesn't that push them to criminality?
Right.
Like, because just think about it. Like, if you can't work, but you're getting housing.
Gotta eat, man.
Yeah,
you gotta eat.
Gotta feed family.
Yeah, because I have never seen that before. Like, it's been since COVID. Like, I remember driving by Elmhurst Hospital during COVID, and I remember looking like it was World War III, because it was like every nationality. That's the one thing about Queens. But you can't kind of be racist and live in Queens. Because every nationality is there. It's a Haitian person, it's your neighbor. So, and I remember driving by Elmhurst Hospital, I remember witnessing that. But do you think that the migrate problem and the rat problem is probably coincide?
No, that's a great question. And the reason I'm saying that is because when I came into office, we used to have encampments all over the place. We had tent cities, people living in cardboard boxes. And when I went in, around January and February, I went into the streets as soon as I got into office, and I went into those encampments and I spoke to the people. You saw schizophrenic, bipolar. People were stale food, human waste, drug paraphernalia. So I told the team, yo, we're not living it like this. And we were able to remove all those encampments off our streets and get people to care. You know, about 7,000 people we cycle into our system. People living on the subway system. You know, you still see remnants of that, but there's a difference. When you go Google these other cities and you see
I've seen San Francisco.
Like
San Francisco.
Yeah, California.
Right.
I heard you said you went and visited the people at San Francisco. It's like Tent City or something like that.
Right. We went and saw what was happening in L.A. We saw what was happening in many of the other cities. And I said we can't, because the visual, like you said, if your visual is that people are going to believe your city's out of control.
Right. So I want to just, first of all, I just want you to state, you know, because I listened to the Breakfast Club interview, and you were talking about why the migrants were here. You know, because I know I've been saying that for a long time about, you know, the different governors shipping them over here intentionally.
Stuff.
You know,
Partisan
because
stuff.
it's political. So I want you to state that for this show because it's a different audience, and I want you to, you know, to reiterate those things.
Right. Yeah. And well, first of all, this is what's deep. They focused on, for the most part, 4 cities. Chicago, New York, Houston, Los Angeles. What are those 4 cities? Those are 4 cities with black mayors.
Right.
All Democrats?
All Democrats.
Right.
And so what happened, they came across the border. It started with Governor Abbott. Governor Abbott started busing them to these 4 cities, destabilized these cities. And then when you think about it, it was a wicked plan that he did, because what you did, you targeted the 4 largest cities where you had these black mayors. So number 1, you destabilized those cities. It's going to be votes. But number 2, you sent the signal out to tell people to think that, hey, these black mayors don't know how to govern. And so I'm only the 2nd black mayor in New York City's history.
David Dinkins being the first.
Right. And my sister, Mayor Bass, was the first African-American woman mayor in
Chicago?
In Los Angeles. So when you do that, you erode, and then you turn your base against you. Because, you know, if folks are hungry, they say, wait a minute, why are you giving everything to these migrants when, in fact, you're not? Right. But they send that cord out, so now you got your base, because this is what they did with David Dinkins. They want to destabilize your base. Because when I won for mayor, there's something called they like to say the New York Times readership. Upper West Side, Brooklyn Heights, Cobble Hill, Park Slope. No mayor has ever won without winning those areas, those parts of the city. I did. I lost all of that.
Right.
You know, I won from straight folks from the community that said, listen, man, this guy's one of us, man. This guy's one of us.
Let me cut you off for 1 second, because the difference is, like, you know, all of us come from, you know, the inner cities, right? The hood, right? And all of us was probably on welfare if he was or he wasn't. What is the difference between us being on welfare and then these migrants that's coming there and you actually giving them, because I heard you doing like
that's a great question. That's a great question.
Citizenship number 1.
A food card.
Yeah.
So migrants and asylum seekers are not allowed to get.
I just want y'all to know I'm outside. You know what I'm saying? My name is Victor. You know what I'm saying? Come on, got that little bit of Paul Reagan in me. You know what I mean? Go ahead. So the food stamps, WIC, SNAP, all of those benefits, migrants and asylum seekers are not eligible for. So the law requires me to feed them 3 meals a day. Right.
Requires.
Right.
What we were doing is buying the food from these large conglomerates. And
buying food that they didn't want.
Right.
Okay.
And 10% of the food they were not eating. Wasting, being discarded. So my first deputy mayor and her team, they came up with this card called a Mocha-Fi card, a black-owned company, where you give them a card where they are given $13 a day to eat, and they go to the local bodegas and supermarkets.
Puts the money back in them.
There you go. Put the money back into the community. Buying what you want. You can't buy anything other than food and baby supplies. So we saved $600,000 a month, $7 million a year. But people wanted to blow it up and say, "Hey, you giving them a credit card?" They knew that was all bullshit. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So that's how the management skills that the team, what we have been doing. And so what the governor did, he wanted to destabilize our city, but we managed it better than anyone can even thought we was going to manage. 180,000 people showing up at your doorstep, can't work, can't provide for themselves. 30,000 children we had to put in our educational system, doing it without a problem. Not one child or family sleeping on the streets.
Which governor was this? The state governor?
The governor of Texas, Governor Abbott. You know,
that's who sent them there.
Right.
Would you say it's racially motivated versus partisan motivated?
Great question. Great. I think it's a combination. It's a combination. I think that he wanted to send a signal to the national government because they need to fix the problem. Let me be clear on that. They need to fix the problem. Right. But there were a hell of a lot of other cities he could have sent them to.
Right.
Why are you picking the cities?
Right.
They didn't even send them to Los Angeles.
Wisconsin? Could have sent them to Wisconsin.
Right.
Yeah.
They didn't even send them to Los Angeles until Mayor Bass became mayor. They didn't even send him to Philadelphia until the sister became the mayor. The day she swore in, a plane landed with migrants and asylum seekers. So he wanted to send a message, but the message he wanted to send was on the back of black and brown mayors.
That's heavy.
Yeah.
And I've been saying that from the beginning. You know, I've been saying that this is politics and they supposed to do that. You know, they want certain laws to be passed. They want to change the immigration policies. And why not focus on, you know, the other party? But when you said the racial part, I didn't even add that part.
Right.
So for me, I understand that you get so much scrutiny. Like being a black man, being unapologetically hip hop, being, you know, coming into our communities, building with the hip hop community, being outside, as we say a lot. And I never want to add to that. I think for me, you know, when we voted and we seen you come into office, that's what we said to ourselves, one of us. It's like, you know, the inmates got the building now. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So that was the mind state. And I think for me, I wanted to see a radical shift, right? I wanted to see things change. Right? I wanted you to take chances and say, okay, we need to change this now.
Right.
Unfortunately, people say a lot about Trump, but Trump don't give a damn about what you say. He's going in there and his base said, this is what we want, that's what y'all want. And he's going to dismantle whatever it takes to get that.
And I love that.
And that's what people respect.
That's hip hop.
That's what hip hop is for
hip hop.
me. So when I look at New York, right, and I say, there has been $9 billion in the police department. And every other education, housing is being cut. You know, I say to myself, that's not what I thought radical change looked like. I thought when we said that, we were going to give more resources to the communities. We were going to give the kids better opportunities. We're going to have programs. When we taking away the after-school programs, when we taking away the early education programs, when we taking away those things that are needed for our kids to flourish and stay out of prisons, you know, then what are we really saying? And so I think that's what it is for me. They say when you want to know what someone is invested in, see where they spend their money.
No, without a doubt. And this is so important because you have to peel back the distortion and the radical change you were talking about. That's what we're doing.
Okay.
We have invested built more affordable housing in 1 year than the history of the city. Our young people have been crying for years for summer youth employment. We had put in place 100,000 summer youth employment, more than the history of the city. We put in place something called Summer Rising all school long for our young people because there was a real loss after COVID. We put more people in those programs in the history of the city. So the radical change, the money that we invested to MWBEs, billions of dollars in black and brown owned business, they were only getting 2%. We came in and put in place my chief diversity officer, Mike Gardner, and we're putting money back into black and brown business and entrepreneurs with our procurement approaches. So the radical changes are right there. Like even foster care children, we knew our foster care children aged out at 18, and we knew that they were either homeless, in jail, victim of a crime, mental health issues. We're now allowing our foster care children to have life coaches until they're 21, paying their college tuition with a stipend, and we have the highest number of foster care children that enrolled in college because of what we've doing in the history of the city. There's a whole lot of radical changes coming about, but you're not going to read it if all they try to put out is that we saw Eric last night at the club.
But I don't think for me it's reading it. It's just me being in the community, doing the work that I do on the ground. I know that the community centers are closed. I know that the after-school programs are closed. I know that those things have been taken out. I literally see that. I know these kids are on the corners that want to be able to go to play basketball, that want to be able to go to the shop class, that want to be able to go to a music program after school. And those programs have been closed because I'm in the schools every day and I'm talking to the teachers and they say we don't have the budget for those things. Those things have been taken out.
Let me share this with you because this is why this is so crucial. What the former mayor did, he put in place a lot of permanent programs using COVID stimulus dollars that sunsetted in 2024. Some sunsetted in 23, then sunsetted in 24. So what we had to do is he knew that, listen, I'm not going to be here, and I know these dollars are going to sunset. We had to find money to keep those programs going. We kept 3K and pre-K, although the dollars went away. We kept Summer Horizon, although the dollars went away. We kept the midnight basketball going on. We put money back into those programs with a $4 billion price tag that came from the migrants and asylum seekers. That money, I got to balance my budget by law.
But the money has been cut. The budget has literally been cut. You're telling me that you put more money into it, but the budget has been cut. This is the numbers are saying that the budgets are cut for school, for after-school programs. The money is not there. So when we're having this conversation, I hear what you're saying, but it's not funneling into the hoods that we come from. When you're saying that we're going to put more police on the grounds, but we're taking away resources that these kids actually need so they don't go to jail, then what are we saying that we're investing in? We're investing in them to go to jail, or are we trying to stop them from going to jail? Because if we don't have the resources to stop them from going to jail, I heard you talking about the prisons, that you took the programs out of prisons. I'm formerly incarcerated. I know how a lot of those programs helped us. I know how a lot of those programs kept us out of trouble inside the prison. I know how a lot of those programs prepared us to come home from prison. Actually, those programs should be outside. They should morph into programs that we have into programs that come outside. So when we're taking away those programs and you saying that people are making money or trying to get rich off of the poverty of the community, but we putting more police. Aren't the police making money off of it? If we put more police in the train station, we put more police in our communities, and a lot of these police are not even community-based officers. They're not culturally competent to be in our communities.
Well, go back for a moment, brother, because I think that it's so important. And what we should do, you should come in and see what we're doing with my DYCD. You know, because
y'all met each other that night too.
Well,
right?
me and the mayor were supposed to have a meeting months ago, probably last year, and it just never happened. But you know, I know you busy going through a lot of stuff.
Busy? I'm busy on steroids.
That's what I'm saying. So, I'm always open for a meeting because
I'm busy on steroids, brother. Who would have thought when I got in office January 2022, I was gonna have 100,000 people showing up. Imagine having 70 people come to your house and all of a sudden say, "You got to take care of me. You got to take care of my food, my clothing, my medical needs." Man, this was dropped into my lap, and with dropping that into my lap, it came with a $4 billion price tag.
I get it. But there's still, our young kids are dying and going to jail at higher rates, especially young black. So that's what I'm saying. As a black man, that's supposed to be a priority to me. I don't care what position I get
100%,
in
brother.
life anywhere. This is why I do boycott black murder. This is why I focus on young black males, because I understand that we are dropping out of schools at the highest rates, we're dying at the highest rates, and we're being incarcerated at the highest rates. So if we're not truly focusing on how do we redirect, because if we're saying that we putting more money into prisons and we got more police officers on the community, and the police officers that come in the community are sometimes agitating, because most of them don't come in to stop the violence.
But it has to be multifaceted.
Exactly.
It has to be multifaceted. I like to say it has to be intervention and prevention.
That's a fact.
And you're aware we put more money in our crisis management team with A.T. Mitchell, Man Up, SOS. We put more money into that than anyone has done before, going on the ground and meeting these young people where it is. And look at the numbers in Brownsville. No one was able to turn around
Shout out to A.T. A.T. is my brother. So, you know, I work with A.T. on a daily basis. But what I'm trying to say, there's no functionable plan for prevention in our community. There's no, like, shout out, let me just
Let's make it up then,
so that's what I'm saying.
Put it together.
That's what I want to do. You know, shout out to Ross J. Barack in Newark. Like, he has a motto for violence prevention.
He's
the black mayor in Newark.
That's not my man.
Still going through some,
no, not Lords of the Underground.
Raz Barack, his dad was Raz Barack also. And Raz is my dude. And still going through some issues in Newark also. All of these cities are going through issues.
But I'm trying to say there's an intentional, he has funded the community. Like, we don't want to say, everybody hates to say to defund the police because that doesn't, the verbiage doesn't sound right. But we want to refund the community, right? Because there are community people who, if you invest the dollars in the community, then you see the change. And I've been working in Newark with Ross J. Barack on those things, so I know what can happen. I just think that when you know, there's been a few instances where you stand by police that I think there should be some level of, that's not okay.
No, I stand by public safety. That's a difference between standing by police and standing by public safety. When you go into our communities, I do a bunch of town halls in our community. You know, when I speak in my communities, those communities that you're talking about, Harlem and what have you, they tell me their needs. I respond to the needs. It's not what I want to respond to. What are the needs you want in your community? And so when you say there's not a master plan, I think first we should sit down and look at my plan. Look at what we're doing with foster care children. Look at what we're doing in summer youth employment. Look at what we're doing. 30 to 40% of the inmates at Rikers Island are dyslexic. I have a dyslexic screening. We have to be prevention and not just intervention. And so I think that before we say, okay, there's no plan, look at my plan. Because you're not going to learn my plan by hearing what people are saying. You're going to learn my plan and look at exactly what we're doing. Something as simple as we dropped the cost of childcare for parents. That's what was preventing our mothers from going back to work. We dropped it from $55 a week to less than $5 a week. We're leaning into maternal morbidity. No one has focused on this. Black women are dying at a rate that's disproportionate to maternal morbidity. Funding those crisis management team. And so I don't think there's a full analysis of that, our full plan. And so you should sit down with the team and look at the plan.
I don't know your full plan, but I work with the crisis management people on a daily basis. And I know a lot of them still are underfunded. I know in a lot of resources they don't have. You know, in a lot of communities, they're not able to fund certain situations. When we look at Rikers Island, over 20-some people have died. And whatever the reason is, you know, the police or the correction officers are care, custody, and control. So that means that somebody failed at something, right? And I've never heard the mayor say, you know what? Somebody in there may be responsible for those things.
That's not accurate. Let's dig into Rikers for a moment. Because I love how people talk about Rikers. What happened many years ago, we closed a lot of our psychiatric facilities. We closed all over. There was a big move. The advocates called to close them down.
What's that one that's after you get up the Triborough Bridge?
Creedmoor and others. And so what they did not give people the services they needed. 70% of folks on Rikers Island have mental health illness. 18% have severe mental health illness. Because they come to the street, they don't get the care, and then they just cycle back into Rikers Island. We're up there having focus group with our inmates and officers. Because remember, 80% of the officers are black and brown. Over 85% of the inmates are black and brown. 40% of them are women. So what has happened historically, they just threw black and brown correction officers, black and brown inmates into the facilities and said, listen, you guys fight among each other. I don't care. I went up there and we did, with my brother, Fatherless N.O.R.E. program, a real program, not just some symbolic program where somebody's making $14 million a year. This brother's up there and I'm up there with him, sitting down with those young men, talking with those young men. No matter how busy my day is, I'm on Rikers Island because I know I can't have these brothers come out and go back in. Bill de Blasio didn't go on Rikers Island. Bloomberg didn't go on Rikers Island. You know, look at where these mayors are. I'm on the ground with these brothers, talking to them, and they're seeing me, saying this mayor is willing to take his time out and go spend time to come and find out, what do you brothers need here? That system was broken for years, brother.
And it's still broken, and that's what I'm trying to. And I think for me is that's why I know you have the ability to do what I'm saying, because you on the ground.
Right.
You're going in and having those conversations. If you know what's going on in Rikers, there are documentaries about Rikers. I was on Rikers Island for seven to 8 months. I know a bunch of people. Rikers Island is not run with care, custody, and control. It's ran like a gang house.
That's what
you know what I'm saying. And a lot of the officers are responsible for that. The officers
I will say that. I will say that.
They're bringing drugs in. They're bringing in paraphernalia.
A lot of the times, the officers are gang members.
They are gang members. So these are realities. These are realities that we're dealing with. So when the answer seems to be that we put more officers and we pay more the budget to the police, when a lot of them are the problem. You know, I seen you stand. An officer went to arrest somebody. So this is what a lot of things that I don't understand.
Yeah.
Officers make arrests, right? The officer has a responsibility. An officer is trained. He's paid. Right, he has a responsibility to de-escalate. If I'm an officer and I come to arrest a citizen or even engage a citizen, I know they might be irate. They might have been drinking. They might have mental health.
Right.
My job is to try to de-escalate a situation, right, before it escalates. If a lady is angry with me and she does something to my hand, I'm not supposed to punch her in the face, right?
Without a doubt, I agree.
So what I'm saying is, you say without a doubt you agree, but that exact situation happened, and you said that she wasn't supposed to engage the officer, and he punched the lady in the face.
Do you remember that circumstance?
I remember the circumstance.
You know,
I spoke to the family and everything.
The circumstance.
Yeah, the guy. Okay, there was a guy.
The circumstance.
I do understand.
Okay.
So what happened? Well, there was a guy. He had drugs on him. He was trying to run, and he came out of a building. He was trying to stash something.
I think you were trying to say, brother. That was the circumstance. Guy was wanted for murder. He had a gun on him. They were arresting him for having the gun on him. The sister went in the middle of the melee as they taking the gun off of him.
That's not what happened. So the sister
we may be talking about different circumstances.
The sister was standing there, and the officer pushed her. The officer grabbed her and threw her.
We may be talking about...
No, I remember the same exact situation.
All right.
And then after he pushed her, she pushed him back, and he punched her in the face with a closed fist. Now, regardless of what you're saying, that those situations, when you engage civilians in that manner, then you can't expect them to have any level of respect for authority.
And that's the point that you're raising, if I'm understanding you correctly, is that if somebody, first of all, there's no one in this room going to sit here and say they didn't have negative encounters with police. Right. Let's be clear on that. I'm not here to, listen, I got arrested. I was kicked in my groin as a 15-year-old by a white cop that stood over me, kicking my brother and I in the groin.
So that's why you became the...
Yeah, right. So I'm not here to defend the horrific actions of policing. That's not, so I don't want all of a sudden walk away with folks say, okay, you the poster child for what's great about policing. No, I'm not. What you're saying is that we have to have the right people, because we do need police. Let's not kid ourselves.
I wouldn't say we
You know what I'm saying?
No, sir.
Because if you telling me you don't need police, that's not what these grandmothers are telling me.
No, I'm not saying that.
Here's what I'm saying to you, and this is difficult for a lot of people to understand. I've been mayor 2 years and 4 months, brother. This city has been fucked up for decades. Brother comes in, 2 years, 4 months, with all of this mess coming down on him, and they all, well, okay, brother, why you in the park to see yet? But what? When you look at the role of being mayor,
yes, sir.
You know, being mayor of the most important city on the globe,
right.
8.3 million people, everything from rats to stick-up cats, you know, to a broken correctional facility. You said you were in Rikers. It was fucked up when you were there.
That's right.
So why would people think that, Eric, you get in office, you inherited COVID, you inherited a financial mess, you inherited thousands of guns in your streets, you inherited a broken Rikers system for generations. Now you're here for two years and 4 months. Eric, why didn't we see this turn around on the right? Come on, come on.
Is it a broken political system? Is it bureaucracy? Is it money mismanagement? Is it corruption?
Yes.
Or is it all of that?
All of that. All of that. So the first thing you have to do, anyone who takes over a business, the first thing you have to do is get in there and analyze, what the hell do I have here? This stuff was a mess when we got here. So unlike other folks, right, I went in and brought my own team. I'm the first man in history that you see authentic, on the ground, black and brown folks running my administration. Right. And we turned this city around in 2 years. In 2 years, we turned the city around. Everybody said it's going to take 5 years. So I know we're not where we ought to be, brother. I'm with that. We're not where we ought to be. But we're moving where we ought to be. When you do an analysis, what I have been doing for black and brown people in this city, from procurement, billions of dollars into my nonprofits, investing in our children, managing the financial crises that we have. No one thought we can do this with you took $4 billion out of your budget, not 4 million, $4 billion out of your budget, and still had to manage this city. And so I know the mess that I inherited, and I know we're not there where we ought to be. But you know what I do know? I know my heart. I know my heart. The city abandoned and betrayed my mother, raising 6 children, robbed my sister of her childhood because mom had to do those 3 goddamn jobs, and Sandra had to stay home and take us. So I'm coming from what I saw growing up. And so my fight against police brutality, it did not come because I saw when I was a cop. It came because I know what they did to us. My brother still is not okay over this.
But I just, and I hear you. I just don't hear that stated when the situations happen, man. I just don't hear when there are direct situations. The young boy, what's his name, Wynn, who was just killed 2 weeks ago. I haven't heard that level of understanding that a mentally ill person who calls for somebody to come help him is killed in his home. I haven't heard that. I heard you speak about when something happened to the police officer and you went to the funeral and you said that you had to stand by family, as you should. But I think that mother who lost her child should have the same enthusiasm. Should have you saying that I'm sorry for what happened to your child. I'm sorry that your child lost his life because with mental.
Don't disagree.
But I don't see it. But you should call it. Why I shouldn't have.
No. I didn't say you should call. Oh. I said I called the mother.
Okay.
I called the mother, I called the pastor, and said, when she's ready to see me, I would like to come and see her. Okay. But when you're the mayor of this...
But why would you not publicly state that?
Because I did.
I never heard it publicly.
You're never going to hear anything good I say, brother, because the people who are writing that's why it's called history. Hmm? My story is not being told, brother. Because based on what they want to pay me out, because this is the same game they did with Dinkins. They want to create the image to erode my base. I didn't get elected by them. And so they said, let's keep eroding his base and have his base turn against him. Go back and look at what they did with Dinkins, brother.
I'm aware. That's what I'm trying to tell you. I'm so aware. Mm-hmm. And if I wasn't seeing these things, I don't listen to half the things the news say. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? I have... Like, I'm tuned in with the people on the inside.
You're solid. You're solid.
So I'm coming at you as a black man that wants to see you be successful. But I think in order for me, because I'm in these communities taking guns out of these kids' hands every day. Right. I'm in the communities telling them that they need to change their ways. And when there's a posture taken that the police can do whatever they want in the communities, when they see what they believe, that's what's being seen by the top cop in this city, and watching officers just do what they want, then there becomes this like, well, fuck that. It's me against them, because they become a gang. The police inside New York City have become a gang. There are certain pockets of police that have gang mentality and activity.
Don't disagree.
So if we understand that, and my job is because I'm trying to save these babies' lives and keep them off the streets and redirect them, then we have to be intentional. Like me and you we have to sit down and show that we're intentional. That's what I said that Ross Rock is doing. He has the police, he sits down and shows them, look, this is how we're going to do this. Police are not going to respond to every situation. We got mental health officers that go. If the mental health officer had went, Wynn would still be alive, right? If community-based organizations had went when he called for, and the officer said, look, I'm not really trained to do that. That's not really really my forte. Let me send out some mental health officers. Let me call a community-based organizations to go over there and see what they can do. Because I'm gonna take a pair of scissors out of a young boy's arms before I'm gonna try to kill him.
And but I don't disagree with you, but I think that's why it's so important to dig into these cases. The case was not a mental health job. And I can't go into the details of these cases because now it's in a legal arena. But in the real world of policing, you have to create that. And we have created that. We have created to have mental health professionals go when those jobs come over. We created that because that's the combination that you need. Exactly. You don't need just, sometimes the police can aggravate. Someone sees that uniform, they can aggravate it in a real way. But if I were to come to you, you've been doing this for a while, and you have an authentic, good approach to what you're doing in Harlem. And I remember we were rapping about after somebody was shot in the community. But if I were to come to you and say that with all the work you have been doing, there's still shootings in Harlem, and it's your fault. That makes no sense. You out there, you on the ground, committed your life to this work, and you're doing more than enough. So when we look at what is happening in cities, what's going on with Chicago, we see what my brother Johnson is going through in Chicago, what's happening in Los Angeles. When we look at these black mayors that inherited these systems that were destructive, and all of a sudden say, listen, man, you guys have been there for 2 years. This is why y'all didn't fix it now. That's like me going to you and say, brother, you've been doing this work for so years. Why we don't have any more homicides in Harlem? That's not what we should be doing to each other. We should be coming together and say, is this person authentic about this work? There's never been a mayor in this city that's been more authentic about this work the way I am. And the results are there. When you sit down and look, I had my team the other day say, listen, we got to put together a wins list because people don't know how we have changed this game. People are going to look back later and they're going to say, we can't believe this brother did this, you know? But they have played us to the point that, you know what? We're going to keep, there's a mission in the city. This cat never could be mayor again. He can't be reelected. You know, who we think he's coming in and gonna now take these billions of dollars that we've been eating off for years? Because I'm not fighting against the people who are running against me, brother. I'm fighting against the people who have been eating off of us for years. Poverty is profitable. People have been hustling us, man. If you don't give a young person dyslexia screening, he ends up in Rikers Island. Now you got all these programs in Rikers Island. And then do analysis who are running these programs. They don't look like us. They don't, people have played us, man, for so long.
And I think that's what the issue is for me. You understand that poverty is violence.
Yes.
Right? We understand that if we don't give these kids every opportunity. I remember, you know, before I got incarcerated, the reason why I didn't go to jail is because I had to after school programs. I went and played basketball and we went on these trips, and these kids don't have that. They literally do not. I'm telling you, they don't. I work in schools. I'm creating curriculums. I'm creating after schools where there are none of those things. So I know it's.
Yeah, let me know. You got.
I have to bring you there. I want you to come see what I'm dealing with. I'm dealing with this on a daily basis. Like there should be way more community centers. You know, like the brother AT has in Brooklyn. Those type of centers, there should be complete centers to where.
Here's my analysis to that. And I want to make a point in a minute also about what we're talking about.
Give me a drink, man.
You gotta come in.
Listen to me. This is black man. This is a black man that I respect, and I know his heart is in the right place. But I want. It's just like I need y'all to say. This is my problem with the Democratic Party. Y'all don't say it with your chest because they saying it with their chest. Governor Abbott is saying, "I'm gonna send all of these over there, and I don't give a fuck what y'all say." Right. Trump says, "I'm gonna do this because that's what my base want, and I don't give a fuck what y'all say." Y'all trying to. Okay, let me say one thing. It ain't gonna work.
I'm the most simplistic person here. I'm dyslexic to the fullest. I see cat, I see car. Like I look, oh shit. I see like, and then I make sense of it.
That's right.
Right. So I look at things in the most simplistic form. I don't like Biden because he doesn't wear a presidential Rolex. How you the fucking president? And you got a fucking date just. What the fuck? That shit doesn't make sense.
You want to see a president?
I don't know if that was clapworthy, guys.
Yeah, it wasn't clapworthy. I'm simplistic. The thing about Trump, and I'm gonna say something, right? He plays on that to us. Right. He went to Chick-fil-A. Now, anybody that's got, if you got a little bit of black in you, you know Chick-fil-A, right. That's like got our heart. Like, even on that's why they close on a Sunday. Because they know that's where we want to go at the church. He went to a fucking Chick-fil-A. And I'm looking, I'm sorry. I look at Biden and I'm like, damn. I ain't see him at a Roy Rogers. The church is fried. He ain't go to Charlie's in Harlem, man. He ain't go to the Juice Bar in the Bronx. Like,
yeah, he don't have a hip hop.
And you're right. No, but see what you're saying. Two things, two observations.
My bad, cause I'm a simple guy.
Yeah, two observations that I think is important. Number one, we're having the same conversation that we had on the Breakfast Club. Mm-hmm. But you're seeing we're conversating.
Mm-hmm. Right, that's right.
His mission wasn't, you know what, I just want to come in and just be disruptive. I want to talk over you. I want to just be. But listen, people know, black folks know how to dislike each other. Mm. But let's show how we love each other. You know what I'm saying? And so what you're doing is like, listen, Eric, I disagree, but I'm going to hear you, then I'm going to hear you.
I love it.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Right. Because nothing people like more than, you know what? We're going to always show that they can't get along.
Right.
But showing how we get along, then the brothers on the street are going to say, here's a brother that's on the street, here's the mayor of the city of New York, they sit in the same room and they're learning from each other. That's the key.
Because whatever y'all got, whatever y'all drink.
No. We need, listen, this is the most beautiful thing about this show.
Y'all got some tequila?
Okay, all right, cool. I'm going to be honest, hold on. Before we get serious, you gotta relax, calm down.
I was going to say something good, though.
I always judge people by what they drink. Stephen A. Smith came in here drinking Hennessy and Coca-Cola. I knew his lungs didn't lead the hood. As much money his successors, he's still in Hollis Squeeze.
Yes.
So I'm sorry, I continue. So you drinking tequila?
You know what I'm saying is because the mission and the goal is for us to win.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? I'm not here. You're not my adversary. Like,
right.
When I see a black man in position, I want to see him win.
Right.
You know, and so when I'm looking, I'm not just looking from my lens. I'm looking at, okay, what are they seeing? Mm-hmm. What is the community seeing? How are they able to play us against each other? How are they able to get your base to go against you or to start saying he's not doing this? And this is a strategy they've always used against us, right? So when I'm saying it and I'm having a conversation with you, I'm giving you the perspective from somebody that's from the outside looking and saying, if you really, which I really believe that you want to change, that you want to be, you know, that have that radical change, then you have to be very intentional, right? Because a lot of people, you know, the news and sound bites, they're going to sound bite you to death.
Right. Mm-hmm.
So what you have to do is be intentional about saying and doing certain things and being able to say, this is what it is. Like it's crazy to me that every time I'm in close proximity to you, I hear the message that I want to hear. When we did the 100 Black Men's meeting, you were speaking, I was like, that's what I want to hear. Why I can't get that nowhere else, right? And so I don't know.
And everybody sees all politicians like that. They say what you want to hear, but then it doesn't relate to on the ground.
I don't know if it's intentional, which I do know is intentional for most some venues and avenues and narratives that they're trying to paint. But I also know that somehow Trump's message gets to everybody. Right? The people that he don't like and the people he do like. His fan base is always going to say, Trump said exactly what the fuck we wanted to hear. So I think that we have to be intentional about that. You know, like that we have to be intentional about saying, look, I understand who my base is. I understand what I'm trying to do. And I know I'm going to get a little pushback here and there from the other people that don't exactly agree, but I have to be intentional in saying, look, these communities, these black communities, we have to start funding these communities more. We have to make sure. We got to go and talk to Raheem and James on the corner and see exactly what it is. We got to put resources. My little nigga, right? We got to put resources in those communities.
100%, brother.
It's hard for me to take guns out their hands when there's no resources.
100%. And what I'm saying, which is interesting, is that when you do an analysis exactly what you're saying we should be doing is what we are doing. We have shifted the whole funding stream to those who are in need. And that's what you were talking about. That's what I was explaining on the Breakfast Club. You have these organizations that were going to Rikers, providing services, getting paid, but no one was in them. And so what I said to them, show me, now we're bringing some new cats in that's going to have folks like a A.T. Mitchell.
Yeah, well, we got a bunch of programs. I work with A.T., I work with,
and that's what
I've been on Rikers Island. We had good programs that they stopped funding. And it was just like, why would you stop funding? I worked with the bartenders where we went in and we Giant the bartenders.
And good stuff.
And these was real, Bobby Smurder was in there and we was going to his house every day and working with his mind and he came home and stayed.
You could. First of all, you don't have to do time. You could do something with the time. Mm-hmm. There's no reason. What I'm saying is, instead of having them sit down, we got a whole green economy that we're rolling out. I should be teaching those brothers right now how to do battery installation, how to install a solar panel. If the cats get that real job skill, then they come home and they don't have to go back to that life. And you know what's deep? When I sit down with those who I talk on a regular, that's involved, that's out there hustling and slinging, I said, how many of you are dyslexic? How many have a learning disability? It's overwhelming, brother. Those brothers were no different than me. Laughed at, bullied out, thrown out, and say, why am I sitting in here? You know, I'm not learning. And that's where we have to go down to the foundation of this. And brother, I'm telling you, when you do an analysis of what we have been doing, you're going to walk away with saying, this is an authentic cat.
But I want to be able to do that analysis, and I want to be able to sit down and see that and be able to go outside and say that. Right, because I want to be armed with the facts, right, to be able to say no, that what y'all saying is wrong.
I love that, and I love that.
You know what Kanye said when he was on here? He said some wild shit. But this was something that was very, very deep. He said he went to visit a prison, and all he saw was the wrong made decisions of RZA. Like he said, he's seen a person that could have been RZA, but he made one decision. He said he met like the Nas's, the Drakes, the J. Cole's, or whoever. And he was like, yo, he was meeting them. He was like, it was the same person with one bad decision.
Without a doubt.
Yeah. So
without a doubt.
So is that what you're talking about? Like almost prison reform?
That's exactly what I'm talking about.
And we need what we need. Is like when Conrad, my brother, and I got arrested, you know, we had these fake gold chains. We used to go down to Canal Street and sell these fake gold chains to tourists. And this...
Oh, you was one of them, dude.
You was a wild. Okay, you was a wild dude. And that's where Sonny gets those.
And my counselor, I'll never forget, man, we had to go over to 40 Projects to see this counselor. And we walked in, and after she did our first session, she told my brother, listen, I want you to come back next week. And she says, Eric, you don't have to bother coming back. In her mind, you know, you're just so fucked up, man. You know, this is a waste of my time sitting here talking to you. And she was like, you know, don't even bother coming back. And I remember walking down the block down Guy Brewer Boulevard. It was called, it was called New York Boulevard at the time. And I was walking down the block, and I was like, you know, like, what's that all about? And so the Pedro who arrested, who had to speak with me to get us out, he showed me that gold chain, and he was like, I bet you I could get you to buy this gold chain. I was like, man, what the fuck you talking about? This shit is fake. And he pulled out this book called State of Black America. The Urban League, I think, used to put it out at the time. It showed how many, by the time you get 18, how many black youth would be arrested. Was arrested. How many will have children? My young girlfriend already aborted a child. How many will be dropping out of school? So all that stuff that they said, they predicted that was gonna happen to us, I was like right in there. So someone else defined my life. And that pissed me the hell off, man. You know, and that was like the turning point for me that I said, you know what? This is not the life I'm going to have someone predict for me. And so we need, you and me is what the recipe is for us, not only in New York.
Just worldwide. I like
it. Right. Because what we're going through in New York, go look at Chicago. Go look at Los Angeles. Go look at San Francisco. You know, go look at Miami. The record that was in the 60s, brothers gonna work it out. Nobody's gonna do this for us. We're catching hell across the globe. Black men universally is catching hell across the globe. When I'm on the continent of Africa, me and my brothers over there, same type of exploitation. No matter where we are, black men are catching hell across the globe. We gotta do this. We gotta sit down together and say, okay, here's Eric, what I think you can improve on. Here's what not. And then we got to push back on the street. When people talking that madness on the street, they did it to Dinkins, and who do we get? Julianne.
Oh, no, we don't like Julianne.
You know what I'm saying?
So we don't like Julianne.
We got to push back because people are hurting. People are hurting on the street. And when you're hurting on the street, you even look at those who are giving you that life raft and taking you to the next level, you begin to even despise them. There's never been a mayor like me, brother, in the city. Never been a mayor like me. There's never been a mayor that will go when that barbershop closes on Fulton Street at 1 a.m. in the morning to sit down with them and say, what's going on the ground? How do we help?
Drug dealers in Burger King.
Right. Let me tell you, that's an important story. Let me tell you about that Burger King.
They wasn't drug dealers. They was homeless.
Right. Here we are. I pick up the paper and I read the paper, and they said that, you know what, drug dealers are hanging out in front of Burger King, and we
what borough?
In Manhattan. Lower Manhattan, right by Wall Street.
Oh, shit.
I call up the commanding office over there and I said, what's going on over there? You know? And he says, Eric, these are not drug dealers. These are homeless guys. And they just, you know, they feel it's just a place they can go. Sunday after church service, I go down there and I meet them. I said, brothers, how y'all doing? You know, I just want to know what's going on and how could I help you? We sat down inside of Burger King and had a conversation. And these were intelligent brothers, man, that they just went through some hard times. And we then provided services, pathways with them, things that they were able to get, but they did not know how to navigate this system.
And that's what I'm saying. Those can be isolated situations.
They're not, brother.
Those are,
No, he picked that up.
You know what I'm saying? I'm saying, but that has to be, those type of resources have to be available in all communities.
Yes.
Right? Because there are a lot of people just outside that don't know where to go. They don't.
Definitely.
And there's nothing that says, hey, you could go here to get a job. You can learn this. You can do this. There's nothing that we have in our communities that do that. A lot of these kids don't want to be outside.
No, without a doubt.
They don't want to be in the streets. Like, hustling ain't even really making no money no more. These kids, scammers. That's what I'm saying. People's like, YouTubers. They list. So like, they don't want to. Nobody want the streets is really dead. They want to be. They want to go home. So we have to be able to provide that.
And this is how we're doing it. Because you're right. When I'm out sitting inside, because my best ideas come from clothes, beauty salons, and barbershops. Right. At the end of the night,
mine come from the gym. When I'm working out, I come up with the best.
Right. You know, I go in the back after, and we sit down and we chat. What brothers was saying to me is what you say. I don't even know the starting point of how to find a job. I don't even know, like, how do I begin? You know, like, what is this thing about resume? What is all that? So what we did, we created something called hiring halls with Henry Garrido, the head of the DC 37. We said, why do folks have to come to us? Why aren't we going to them? We now go into the community, bring all the jobs that are available, and we have people come in and we walk them through the process. And you see, you got like 800
like a job fair.
Right. And it's even better than the job fair because we're finding out everything that you need, like what's going on.
Like a workshop for them.
Exactly.
Right.
You know, and because you're right. The old model was, if you don't come down and fill out this job application, I was like asking people, like, you know, y'all paying all these recruiters, why aren't they people coming in? Right. So we had to go to folks, man. You got to meet people where they are. You can't meet people where you are. You know, you got to meet people where they are. And so I went down to the job fair that was in Harlem the other day, and there was a bunch of brothers standing outside talking, and they were afraid to walk inside the building. I'm telling you, Black men are beat down so much, brother. They were so afraid to walk inside the building. So when I was going back to my car, I caught them in the corner of my eye, and I told my crew, I said, "Hold on for one moment." And I went over to talk to the brothers. I said, "You know, what's happening?" They said, "Well, we know they're doing jobs in there, but I don't think we could go in. I've had some problems in my life." I said, "No, it's not, man. Come on, we walk in here together. You're gonna walk in with me, and folks gonna give you the services that you want." I gotta be substantive, but I gotta be symbolic. People need to believe again. They no longer believe. You know, they need to believe. This bald-headed, earring-wearing, dyslexic, arrested, rejected. He's now elected to be our mayor, man. I mean,
Greatest
that makes
city on earth.
the most important city on the globe.
Come on.
Let me tell you something, man. God is good, man.
You got the hardest job. I'm gonna be honest.
But if I do it right, it elevates us. It elevates us. If I do this right, it elevates us. Because nobody thought. Listen, God could have made me the mayor of some small town somewhere. He made me the mayor of the most important city on the globe.
Bigger than some countries.
You know what I'm saying?
There's countries smaller than you.
And it elevates all of us, man. Like you doing this show, man. You know your life. You're talking about, and not only are you mentally sound, but you talk health. You take care of your body. You're on the streets. You articulating the issue. You doing this show here. Listen, all of us gonna stumble. You can't be a black man and not stumble in America.
Right.
You know, but if we come together and show how. Because as you said, Democrats are trying to be so politically correct. They're trying to say everything right, you know, that nobody believes in them anymore.
That's a fact.
And we need to just be authentic.
Take the partisan out of it. I think that's a problem as well. Because that's a Bloods and Crips, you know what I'm saying, mentality as well.
Right.
Like we just all need to work for the parties, the politicians need to work for the people, all people, not whether it's blue or red or whatever.
I think it's hard. I think what you're saying is more theoretical than actual, because you got to get a base. Right. In order for everybody has to have their base of people
to get
fundamentally, exactly.
Right.
So what I'm saying is appeal to the people.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? As long as you appeal to the people, I don't care what color you, because I don't care about the partisan shit no more. Like that shit is over for me. Yeah. I'm not saying that, listen, if you talking about the issues, if you are ready to promise me and guarantee that you're going to do everything possible to address the issues and the needs of the communities that I come from directly, then that's the person for me. Other than that, then I don't see the need for that.
I agree 100%.
I'm going to change the subject and lighten it up a little.
Can we do that? First of all, brother, what the message of the success must get to the people.
That's right.
We have some good stuff. And when people, my son said the other day when we were talking about this, the biggest thing that my team here, I didn't know that. People don't know how much we're doing. And there's a coordinated effort of not getting that down. And so we need to sit down with you and others and figure out how do we know people the accessibility, like our hiring halls. We need to get it on the street, because I'm out handing out pamphlets to people. I'm in walking through NYCHA, walking through the community. But if there are better methods like this, that you say, Eric, here, look, this is a good method so we can get this down. We can walk the streets together.
That was the meeting I wanted to have with you, because when I started...
We gonna have this shit goddamn.
That was it. Because boycott black murder for me is... everything else is incentivized, publicized, and marketed. Right. Like murder to our community is who's marketing the positivity? Right. Who's showing the quote unquote real gangsters that's stopping the violence in the community? Who's showing the people that's putting us on the right path? Right? So if we don't put the same amount of money that they, or not even, because we know that they're gonna put way more money, but if we don't got billboards showing the leaders in our community that's doing this, if we ain't on the radio station showing leaders that's doing positive, if we ain't got the leaders in our community that's doing positive stuff at Summer Jam and all of those places, then our kids gonna think the only way to win is to do negative. The only thing I'm gonna do is some drill shit.
We ain't doing that.
That's it.
So
that's what it's about. That's what it's about. We gotta market and promote.
We're gonna lighten up the situation a little bit.
But this is light.
It's light. This is a good conversation. conversation.
Let me tell you something, man. I enjoy so much to be able to and just be among us and have real conversations.
No, that's
man.
real talk.
You know what I'm saying? Bill de Blasio would not have flown to Miami and sit here and having a drink and just talking. This is an opportunity we need to capitalize on.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? We to be able to have real, authentic talk with each other. So this is what we do in the barbershops, man.
It's beautiful. So me and Drink Champs, we have a famous story.
Yes.
Our director, his name is Rasta. He's from the Caribbean.
Where's Kevin?
My friend Sonny D came to his room one night. He's a vegan. He came to his room one night. He caught her with a shrimp pizza.
Listen.
Allegedly.
You is not Rasta.
Allegedly. We heard you a vegan.
Right.
And they caught you with a fish sandwich on 145th Street. Now, if it's on 145th Street, I forgive you, my brother. Because that 145th Street sandwich
is different.
It has some type of shit in there. 145th. You know what I'm talking about? My bread
right
down the
there,
block.
yeah.
So when they said they caught the man with a fish sandwich, I said, you gotta forgive him. Depending on where it came from. Do we forgive Rasta for having a shrimp pizza?
No, first of all, it's not what he does. It's not what he does a day. It's what he does every day.
Every day. Ooh.
Let me tell you something. I woke up, I don't know what year that was, DJ. I woke up, I couldn't see the alarm clock. And I thought it was sleep in my eyes. I kept blinking it. It wouldn't go away. I decided, black men, man, you got to drag us to the doctor. I was having a pain in my stomach. I thought it was, I had colon cancer because it wouldn't move. It wasn't like gas moving around. And I said, let me get my ass to the doctor. I get to the doctor. He does he checks my colon, checked my stomach. I came out of sedation. He says, Eric, you have an ulcer. He said, but your real issue is your diabetes. You're going to lose your sight in a year.
Damn.
And he says, you're going to lose, my fingers and toes were tingling all the time. He says, that's permanent nerve damage. You're going to lose some fingers and toes. And he says that, it's not much we could do. And I went, that's how
old was you then?
It was about 6-7 years ago. And I decided, man, I went home and, God is, the ancestors speak to us. And they gave me these pamphlets saying living with diabetes. I had advanced stage diabetes. Your A1C should be 5.6. 8 is, coma level. I was 13. And the doctor told me that I went home, they gave me these pamphlets and said living with diabetes. And I changed one word, reversing diabetes. Instead of living with diabetes, I said, I typed in reversing diabetes, Google. All this stuff came up, and that's how I got on this journey of plant-based. It came up to show, it's not our DNA, man, it's our dinner, man.
Right.
You don't inherit these diseases because your parents had it. You inherit these diseases because we're eating the same shit that our parents were eating. Like everybody on the block had diabetes because everybody on the block was eating the same madness.
Yeah, we love the Kool-Aid. I love the Kool-Aid. I still drink champagne. Yeah.
So, but I go back to my brother. It's not about being perfect. This is about saying, wait a minute, you know what? Let me just modify some stuff. Let me make sure I eat, at least let me get a nice salad in. At least let me make sure I get that water in. At least I'm not gonna eat steak every night. It's about, let me modify my stuff based on what health issue I'm going through. And that modification, I went plant-based. 3 weeks later, my vision came back. 6-7 months later, all the nerve damage went away. I don't even know when the ulcer, I don't even feel the ulcer anymore. Wow. No medicine, So, if I feel like, I want a pizza with shrimp on it, you damn right I'm gonna eat it.
He's different. He's the Rasta son.
right. Listen, but listen. I also heard he offend you out here wilding too. All right, by the way, you know he's a pescatarian right there. Look at the guy. Look the guy with the cholo glasses on.
The notorious Machu Picchu.
But I also heard that one night they ate hamon pizza. Sonny D told me he saw y'all.
For like 15 years.
Yeah, that's good.
You can burn that. You heard y'all eat ham pizza. He was so serious. I didn't even have it more. They had a meeting about you. You wasn't around. And they said he had been slimmed up. He went back. He went back. And the dude posted you too, like, yo, hey man, he ain't be holding it down. I'm just saying, I'm throwing it out there. There's a lot of y'all.
We got some flowers.
We got some flowers. Yeah, you want to say something? I love it. Listen, our show is about giving people their flowers.
Yes.
I am born and raised from New York City. If you take me right now, you throw me in Los Angeles, you throw me in anywhere else and say that this is where you're going to be born from, I'm going to refuse it. I mean, anywhere, not just because I said Los Angeles and you laughed, and I know how this shit goes. Please calm down over there, back there. Right, accommodate. Me, I'm born and raised from New York City. John Singleton was my friend before he passed away. And I sat down with John Singleton and I said, yo, can you put me in Snowfall? And he looked at me and said, you will never be in Snowfall. And I said, damn, like I thought we were friends. Like, and he's like, your New York accent makes you limited to wherever you go. And I was like, fuck. And I didn't know that at the time. He kept it real with me. And I was just like, fuck, it doesn't matter if I move to Saudi Arabia, to Dubai, to Monaco. I keep flossing, right? Amalfi Coast. Wherever I'm at.
They speak English.
You know what they're going to tell me? You're a New York person.
That's right.
And I will die being a New York person. Right. And I will live my life, loving life, knowing I'm a New York person. I jog and people see me and they look at me and they say, you're from New York. Because the way I jog is from New York. The way I walk around in the barbershop, they know I'm from New York. The way I motherfucking tie my sneakers, they know I'm from New York. And I would be remiss. What, something on me or something? My haircut? Yeah, my haircut is from New York. My star was fronting on me. This nigga know me 25 years. This nigga, he mad.
I didn't do that shit in Miami. Shut up.
Listen. I was part of the ball community and I left the ball community. They don't like it. I was being honest. Look at all these bald motherfuckers. Look at them. They don't like it. They don't like it. They're like, yo, wait a minute. And then they didn't realize I wasn't bald. I just liked my hair low. My wife made me grow my hair. She's over there. It's very true. But, sir, you are not only mayor of the most important city, you are mayor of the city. When they defy any city in the world, they defy it based upon New York. And we would be remorse to not give you.
Remiss.
Listen, I'm a dyslexic.
Okay.
He understood. Look. He ain't crazy. You smart motherfucker. Get the fuck out of here. We dyslexic over here. You gotta get your flowers face to face, man. Get your flowers. And
I love that.
Yes. Snoop said it's better than the Grammy because it's come for your people. And we invited Mysonne. Mysonne is our brother. Listen, boycott murder is one of the greatest things I could ever see.
Solid,
so
man.
we have never gave a guest host flowers, but we want to give Mysonne his flowers. And this whole thing is about us coming together.
Yes.
And EFN, we're gonna let you be an honorary New Yorker tonight. You let me be an honorary. You let me be an honorary Miamian every night. I'm gonna let you be an honorary New Yorker this night, even though you should rewind your time. Come on, get your life together.
I'm good, man.
Get your life together. Look at Mike's on beard. You know you got some grades in there. Come on, rewind your time. But let me just tell you something.
Yes.
I think the dialogue, what we've been speaking about, is making our city greater.
Definitely.
And being from the Bronx, being from Brooklyn, moving to Queens, me being, you know, from Queens, with a lot of fucking relations to the Bronx.
A lot of them.
I feel like, man, the Bronx is coming up now, man. They got Starbucks and everything now. Yo, cheese Danishes. Yo, I'm like, I can get a cheese Danish. I can get a mocha frog latte.
We got to be careful.
Shit is real.
We got to be careful that it doesn't come up and we lose the people who were there.
The gentrification.
Right. We talking about gentrification?
Yes. We got.
Okay, you don't think gentrification is good? Sometimes I do.
No. What diversity is good, displacement is not.
Right.
Ooh.
You know, and so there, folks, the Bronx, we got it wrong in other boroughs. We got to get it right in the Bronx and other parts. It's South Jamaica, Queens. South Jamaica, Queens, there's a lot of building going on there.
I haven't seen that.
Yeah.
But I'm going to be honest. Let me cut you off for 1 second. I went to Brooklyn in the 90s, and now I go to Soho House in Brooklyn.
Right.
So I like it a little better.
right.
I like Soho House in Brooklyn.
But from the people that lived there in Brooklyn before, they can't go to Soho House, and that's what he's talking about.
See, I can relate to people in Fort Greene. I can't relate to the people that was already in Williamsburg that I didn't know prior to that. Anyway, so is that a difference? Because, I mean, I don't know. Did I sound a little crazy?
No.
But what I'm saying is I can relate it to the people in Fort Greene. I related to the people in Farragut. But I didn't relate to the people that was across from there that they gentrified as well.
Right.
So am I bugging?
No, so here's the movement. This is what we're doing when we're building now. Is that if you are, like we did a project, Willis Point. You know, we're changing Willis Point. We're building 2,500 units of affordable housing, 100% affordable housing, union jobs, a new school, open space. You remember how Willis Point was, you know, for all those years. So as we're building now, we're saying, listen, we got to make sure the people who are building can afford to stay in the city, you know, because we were hemorrhaging black and brown people from the city of New York. We're saying, listen, folks got to stay in the city. So it could be, you could develop without displacing.
Can I want to say one question that the young kids in Columbia.
Talking about Columbia?
Columbia College right now.
Right.
Oh, it's funny. I was going to bring up actual.
I thought you meant Columbia.
I'm talking about they're actually been protesting against the war in Gaza, and I seen like 108 of them were arrested the other day.
Right.
Like, do we think that's okay that the kids are being arrested? For protesting?
No, I don't think. Here's where this whole issue. We can't. People want to forget what happened. October 7th was real. And a lot of people, I think what the big mistake that people are not doing is showing what really happened there. We're reading about it, that's one thing. But if you see the actual, what happened there to innocent people, those were people who had that was a peace concert that was saying, we want to fight to tear down the wall so the Palestinians and the Israelis can get together. I mean, to go there and cut off someone's breast and use it as a football to rape and I mean it was so inhumane. When you look at a documentary, they don't even want to show people because of how horrific it was.
I want to just give a little pushback. There has never been any confirmed rapes. I know that the murders have happened, but there has not been any yet confirmed rapes. So I'm just saying that right there, there's never been any footage or any documentation of that.
No,
even let me just finish.
No, go ahead.
Even the president stepped back and said, I haven't actually seen these things that I'm talking about. Did. All right, so he said that. So, but what I'm saying, we're at a stage now where almost 40,000 people have been murdered, right? So that's pretty much, that's called collective punishment, right? And the majority of them are babies and women, right? Yep. So if we having a conversation, because I've heard you say that. I heard somebody say, hey, we want to end the genocide, this and that, and you said, give back the hostages. And I thought I didn't think that was the statement to make, knowing that you have constituents who are Palestinians. Right. You have constituents
don't disagree, but then look at the history. Let's view a person from their totality. 2001, 9/11 happens. They started rounding up young Muslims and Palestinians. I went to Palestinians, Muslims, and others and said, this is wrong what they're doing to these young men. I went to 31st Street and 3rd Avenue and had a press conference. I couldn't get one Muslim to stand with me. I was by myself. Women were being attacked for wearing hijabs in the city. I rounded up and said, listen, we need to stop these women from being attacked. I went to march with them to do so. I couldn't get Muslim leaders to march with me to do so. At the largest protest, when Donald Trump said the Muslim ban at Brooklyn Borough Hall with the Yemenis community, to push back against it. These Muslims leaders say, listen, y'all can say what y'all want. This guy has been with us since 2001. I'm consistent across the board. When things happen to people, I'm going to speak out against it. It's not about anti-Palestinian, pro.
But I just don't. I think the Palestinian community doesn't believe that you speak up or against collective punishment and murder of baby and children in Palestine right now. Because
I disagree with that.
I heard you vehemently say what happened on October 7th was an issue. I heard you say for send home the hostages. But I haven't yet to hear you say, hey, we need to stop this war. These kids are being killed senselessly. These women are being killed.
I've said more than once, brother, that no child should be dying because of the actions of man. But let's be consistent about this. Right now in Yemen, Muslims are killing babies against each other in Yemen. And I've been calling for years, we need to stop this war in Yemen. In Lebanon, Hezbollah is bombing and killing innocent people in Hezbollah. In Nigeria, a group of Muslim terrorists kidnapped over 100 black girls, took them from their families. And I stood up at Borough Hall and said, listen, we shouldn't be doing this to these girls. So we can't all of a sudden find this energy to talk about one act. I'm saying globally, we should not be doing this. And so I haven't heard these groups who are now running in the streets now. Where were them when those Nigerian girls were kidnapped? They weren't standing with me.
Well, a lot of them probably didn't know. Like there's a lot of information. Like I didn't even know what was going on in Congo till recently, right? As a black man. So when you start realizing what's going on in the Congo and you start realizing what happened in Haiti, all of these things, then you're focused on it. But I'm just saying right now, when we're looking at videos of babies just being blown up playing games, playing hopscotch, right? Like these are things that literally happen. This is not like something we think is happening.
Don't disagree with you, brother.
So I think just the humane part of us to say, hey, that needs to stop.
And but I said that more than once. And stop. The fastest way to stop that, Hamas is a terrorist. Well, if you were in Israel when they did that, brother, they would have killed you.
And I understand that, but my thing is this. If they would have killed me, that has nothing to do with those babies and a woman. So that's what I'm trying to say. Like, okay, so that's the issue that everybody's having. No one is denying what happened on October 7th was a horrific situation. No one in the world is going to say anything else, except for the people who probably did it. But everyone else is saying at this point, almost 40,000 people, mainly women and children, are dying. That if the humanity and our leaders can't say, okay, we need to stop this. If you're trying to get Hamas, then you need to figure out a strategy that you go in and get the people who did what they're supposed to do. But killing babies and women every day is just not okay.
And it would only perperpetuate it for it to happen again.
And I don't disagree with you, but first of all, I'm very delicate about using the term everybody. Because there's no such thing as everybody. There is not a monolithic. There's not a monolithic view on everything.
I agree with that.
You had a group of people that was on the train the other day chanting, "Hamas is our hero. Hamas is our hero."
On New York City?
Yeah, New York City.
No,
Hamas is our hero.
I think that's a terrible thing, but you don't see how that's being created.
No,
you don't see how the narrative is being created, right? Because what happens is it's like anything else. When you start seeing people go against them, these people is mental illness at some point.
Oh, right? I agree.
It's levels of mental illness,
and I agree.
Right. This is how what's happening right now. Is this situation is creating terrorists, People that didn't know anything. I'm watching. There's levels of anger that people are like, damn.
On both sides.
On both sides.
On both sides.
But it looks like David versus Goliath is basically
exactly.
That's what it ends up looking like.
So we, as leadership, right? What we have to be able to say is like, this shit needs to stop.
We don't disagree, brother.
Everyone agrees with that.
Everyone, right?
And I've been in.
I think everyone agrees with that.
Listen, I've been in Palestine. I sat down with Palestinian leaders. I've been in Israel. I've sat down with Israeli leaders. And if we believe this battle that has been going on for, since the days of Solomon and Gomorrah,
right.
If we believe the mayor of the city of New York is going to resolve that.
Yeah, no. I
don't think.
And so I'm saying no innocent child should die. But I'm also not in support of someone, first of all, hostages who have been released talked about being raped. But if something like that happens on October 7th and people are on the street cheering and celebrating on October 8th, that's inhumane.
It is inhumane.
That's inhumane. That's you can talk about your battle of freeing Palestine and Gaza without looking at someone that's in a pain of devastation and mourning and celebrate that. That is not healthy. And that is what I denounce. I denounce innocent children dying, and there's a record from my entire life of talking about what's playing out across the globe.
Well, it doesn't come across that way when somebody says the innocent kids shouldn't die and you say free the hostages. That's your response. That wasn't my I'm very consistent. There's one thing people can say. Well, there's a video that I seen online. The guy was like, stop the genocide, stop it. And you walked up to him and said, free the hostages, and walked off.
Right. Listen, I'm very consistent in my message. I said on October 7th, destroy Hamas and free the hostages. I said on October 30th, January, February, I'm the same. I'm the same. Now, one can say, well, Eric, I don't agree with you. You have that right. My position...
No, I don't, it's not that I don't...
I'm not talking about you in general, specifically.
I don't agree with that statement. When someone is saying, stop genocide, stop killing innocent babies, and your response to that is free the hostages, you're making it seem that it's justified. As long as the hostages are there, we can kill as many people possible as long as you have hostages.
That's not what I'm saying.
But that's what it says when you say that.
First of all, take
when you make that statement.
If someone takes a clip and they omit what they've been saying.
No, they didn't omit. It was a full clip. There was no soundbite.
These first of all, people are saying, we want you to say this specifically.
But they're doing that to they're doing it on both sides, though. That's not like...
And that's why I don't play that.
Okay.
So well, first of all, this is what I'm a big believer, and I think this was answered altogether. I was angry as hell when I couldn't get Muslim leaders to stand with me in 2001 when these young men were being rounded up. I was angry when I couldn't get them to stand with me when women were being attacked for wearing the hijab. I was angry over and over again. But I said to myself in my time of reflection, Eric, you don't have the right to judge people. God judges. Anyone that's in that street right now that think they're going to judge me, then they don't believe in the religion they say they believe in. My anger cannot judge you. God judges. I don't judge you. I got to live my life. And so if people saying, well, Eric, you didn't say this sentence the way you want, that's your problem. That's not my problem. I'm judged by God.
I just think that you have constituents that are Palestinians and Muslims.
And I do.
And I think that the same way you've been very vocal, because I've heard you very vocal say what happened on October 7th. I've heard you, seen you in situations, denouncing those situations all the time. And I've never heard you be vocal about denouncing that babies and kids have died in Palestine. I just haven't seen it.
Are we saying it right now? God damn it. We're saying it right now.
Keep in mind, Palestinian leaders, the loudest is not the majority. Palestinian leaders support me. Muslims leaders support me. Arabs support me. So just because the loudest is saying something, that's not the majority. And so booing to me, yelling at me, cursing at me, I just told you at the beginning of this program, I walked in the classroom and I was yelled, booed, teased. Listen, is that all they got? You got to come to me more than calling me names and booing me and calling me this and that. I'm going to live my life based on the principles that I've always have. I believe I'm authentic, and I'm going to live my life the way my mother wanted me to live. And not everybody's going to agree with that. You think everybody agree with you?
No. And I, like you said, I'm fine with it.
Right. And
I stand 10 toes down on anything I say, win, lose, or draw. I'm okay with it.
So why wouldn't I be like you?
You should, but I love it. I'm always going to ask a question, especially when something goes against my moral compass, and I feel like it's not okay. Like as a human being, there's certain things that I'm not okay. I wasn't okay what happened on October 7th. I don't condone any of that.
Right. But
just constantly watching babies and kids die every day is just not okay with me. And I think that it shouldn't be okay with everyone. Right. And I'm gonna say that absolute. There's no human being of good moral compass that should be okay watching babies and kids die every day.
Absolutely.
And somebody say, I don't care. We just gonna keep killing them. It's just no way.
I don't agree with that. I don't think we should kill children and babies. I'm with you. I'm with you. But I also don't support those who are saying Hamas is a hero.
Oh, you should. Nobody should. I get that.
There's a whole body. Those same people who are sticking the mic in my face and saying, we want you to say this the exact that way, are saying Hamas is their hero. Those are not, first of all, I don't even respect them. I don't respect them. And what you'll find is that what I say in one setting in a boardroom is what I say sitting on the block. I'm consistent in what I say. You go over my life, and you're gonna see someone did a whole story on me, and they said this guy's been saying the same belief. He has not wavered off his beliefs. So I don't have a political comment that I'm gonna say if I'm around a bunch of white folks, or if I'm around a bunch of black folks, or around a Muslims or Christian. I'm the same person, brother. You take speech after speech, comment after comment, and you're going to say what he said in this private room is what he said in public. Because I got to live with myself.
I mean, I ain't gonna lie.
I'm like Key and Peele. When I see certain people, I give certain people certain fives. Certain people get the good five, and then certain people get the...
Or you take it back.
You told me to take it back, but he told me to take it. That shit was hilarious.
Hold up, sir. We got to shout out Underdog.
Underdog.
Make sure everybody downloads the Underdog Fantasy. We got Underdog Fantasy app. Use the code DRINKCHAMPS or Drink or Champs.
Or Drink or Champs.
And get matched up to $100 on the app.
God damn it.
Let's go, Underdog. Shout out to Underdog Fantasy.
I'm not going to lie to you. If you're following me on Underdog, I'm going to be honest. You should just stick with me.
Drink Champs Army Underdog Fantasy app.
Underdog Fantasy app.
Fantasy. Drink Champs is a code.
Get your $100.
Let's go.
Use the code Drinks or Champs. Put in $100. We'll match you $100.
We matching.
Come on, Diego. Come in here for this.
Listen,
we gonna play Quick Time with Slime.
we still doing that. All right.
Let's play Quick Time with Slime.
Let's do it, man.
Listen, because you are the first fully political individual constituent that we ever had on here. So if we don't play Quick Time with Slime, everybody's gonna be like, you took it light on the man. So we can't do that. But you don't have to drink.
Okay.
You could have somebody else.
You can sip his drink.
You can sip your drink, or you could pick somebody else around here. Mysonne, you're gonna drink with us too.
I'm gonna drink with you.
Okay,
You got your shot right
all right,
here.
it was shot glasses. Okay, so hold on. You want to start it off? I finally know a New York City mayor. Jesus, this is fucking fantastic.
So here are the rules.
Here's the rules.
We're gonna give you two choices.
Yes.
If you pick one, nobody drinks. Nobody drinks at the table. But if you say both or neither, which would be the politically correct answer, because you don't want to pick one of them, then we all take a shot. Every single person.
All right, we're gonna have some fun. All right, cool.
We gotta have the drink inside before.
Oh yeah, Jamie.
No. She's on point.
No, you should have your
Yeah,
I want tequila too.
Yes.
All right, so we're just gonna go and then you drink if we have to. Biden or Trump?
I went with Biden.
Okay.
And any stories you have with anybody we mentioned, please, by all chance, but
Yeah, Biden got to start running the presidential. I'm throwing it out there, man. Like, I mean, if you want me to somewhat be a Democrat, like, play the party. Like, every president besides you had that. You're gonna wear the downgrade of it. I'm sorry. I'm very simplistic. I'm sorry.
You're judging him for the wrong thing.
Yes, I am. But I said that from the beginning. I'm a very simplistic
He says
person.
the indicator.
Yes, I'm dyslexic for regularly. Go ahead. Where you going?
Tupac or DMX?
I'm a Tupac guy.
Okay.
Where does that come from? Like, what's the history of your listening to Tupac?
I was a part of an organization called the National Black United Front. Reverend Herbert Daughtry and others, and Tupac's mom were affiliated with it. And his music is just real.
Yeah.
I respect that.
You got it?
Yeah, I got this one. I'm kind of scared, actually. Jay-Z or Nas?
I got to go with Jay-Z.
I bet you at Nas.
I thought he would have been all New York and said both.
Yeah, you should have said both.
Oh, okay, damn. Can I come back? Both.
Thank you. This is going to fuck up the internet. So I'm being honest. You got to answer this. No, it's no correct answer. Kendrick Lamar or Drake?
I'm going to say both.
Now that's the great answer.
And that was like the
Politically correct.
That is the politically correct answer.
Oh, I got it.
J. Cole or Kanye West?
J. Cole.
Okay. No, nobody drinks. He picked it.
Podcast or radio?
Podcast. Long version, able to really dig into a podcast.
That's right. God damn it.
Chris Rock or Dave Chappelle?
I got to go with Dave, man.
I respect that. Malcolm X or Martin Luther King?
Got to go both. They both did their thing, man.
He trying to kill us now.
He getting you back, my He like it. Get your ass back. Jeez. Oof. Okay, I want this one.
Go.
Michael Jackson or Prince?
I'm gonna go with Michael.
Any reason why?
His when you think about it, Michael really started the whole video stuff. That Michael, I remember reading the first story, and he was talking about he's gonna do his music and turn it into this visual. And now look at
he made movies. Like Thriller was a movie.
Right.
It was a movie.
Right.
It was a movie.
All right. Tyson or Ali?
Ali.
Okay.
You trying to get that man all them drinks? What are you gonna do with that? Pass them down here.
M.O.P. or Mobb Deep?
Mobb Deep.
Okay.
We got to keep going. A couple more.
All right.
Jeez.
Go ahead. I'm thinking of shit.
Brooklyn or Queens?
Brooklyn.
Oh. New York City or Miami?
I mean, he gonna say that's not even fair.
He said I want him to say
Miami.
Yeah, I want him to say New York.
New York.
God damn it, New York. Everybody here from New York.
That's right.
Miami is New York. Miami is the seventh borough. Miami is the seventh borough. I'm being honest. It's the 5 boroughs, then it's Long Island.
And New Jersey.
And New Jersey makes the 6th borough. And then the 7th borough is Miami.
You know who says that? Only people from New York. We don't say that. Miami don't say that.
Because y'all be claiming us too.
Nah, get out of here.
Y'all be like, you're my cousin from Brooklyn. My cousin from the Bronx. Come on, you know we the coolest people on the planet. Come on. But by the way, all right, before we finish the quick time slide.
Right.
New York. For anybody that's not from New York, I apologize for this segment. But when they say if you can make it here, you can make it anywhere,
That's right.
they're not lying.
No, I think everybody could agree with that.
New York is
Understand about
probably
New York.
one of the roughest, toughest, richest bourgeoisie cities in the world. You can get robbed on one block and turn around and have an elegant foie gras meal with caviar on the next.
That's right.
And guess what? You feel beautiful about it.
Not the getting robbed part.
No, I'm not focusing on that part, sir. I'm saying that can happen. But New York City is the greatest city on the planet. I'm sorry for people who are probably going to tune into this and they wanted me to say one of the greatest cities. And no, I don't want to say that.
That's right. Claim it.
I want to say the truth.
That's right.
It is the greatest city on the planet. It is the biggest city on the planet. I've been to Tokyo. Cool. I've been to all these other places. Cool. There's no place like New York City.
None.
I don't give a fuck
right.
where you go.
Let's take a shot to that.
I don't give
A shot to that.
I don't give
No
a fuck
place like
where
New
you
York.
from. I don't care where you
Except
go.
Miami.
No, I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm not gonna lie to you. Yes, it's very close. But just like there's a distinctive experience when you come to Miami, and it's pretty much horny people, right?
What the fuck?
Like it's like if you love Miami, you're kind of like a horny guy, right? You can come to New York and love New York and not be horny. It's true. Like you could just
The
be out
horny
there.
people love Miami.
You could just love. It's horny people love Miami. Let's be honest. Let's be honest.
Yo, this guy's description.
I told you my shit is simplistic. I'm dyslexic.
I love that.
Resource room, Virgo. Very.
Well said.
But New York City, I'm gonna be honest with you. It was a record label Mysonne is signed to the same way as I'm signed to. It was called Violated. It was on 160 Varick Street, where
right.
Chris Lighty was alive.
Classic.
And we was talking about programs earlier, and y'all was back and forth about the programs earlier. And I'm gonna tell you what programs I would like to invest in. I would like to invest in whatever program that Mysonne has, or whatever program that Papoose has, right?
Yep.
Because I'm gonna tell you one thing, the program that we didn't realize that saved us, that helped save me and you, was record labels. Was us hanging out in record labels. It replaced the parks. We went and we understood that we was collecting $60,000 by hanging out on a record label. And the thing was, what we didn't realize it was our savior was because a lot of these people were still on the what's it called, the 360 mentality. But imagine, like, that's what I love what Papoose is doing. And that's what I love what we doing with Drink Champs. Our motto is what? EFN, we don't own nobody who signs the Drink Champs. If you sign the Drink Champs,
right.
this is your.
We're
We don't own
facilitators,
you.
right.
We don't want to be a black and brown people that come into that turn into our parents that we despised.
And we'll set you up, and if you got to go afterwards, because we
So
set
we
you
give
up.
you a 1-year deal. We give you all your publishing. We do everything, and we just tell you, go ahead.
That's dope.
That's the programs that we was talking about earlier. It's the program that but me and you know that 160 Varick, where Chris Lighty would come meet with you, and he would get
You walk
you
into
out
that
the hood.
office,
Because guess what?
And Q-Tip was there, Buster was there one
But guess what,
day.
Mysonne? Guess what, Mysonne? You didn't come
Missy
by
would be
yourself.
in there.
You came with 6 other individuals.
Yeah, I bring my man,
guess
and they
what
were so
happened?
happy
Guess
to
what
be
happened? Those 6 other, not only you was inspired, but those 6 other individuals went back to the Bronx.
LL was in there. I remember the first time I freestyled for LL and off. He just walked into a meeting. I'm like, this is LL. And I'm rapping.
You just
and
started
Chris was
rapping.
like, listen to him. And he started rapping. And you know what's crazy? Like, probably 5 or 6 years ago, he remembered a bar I said from that round. I never, when he said that, he said, you said something about chuck steak. I'm cooking up steak. I'm cooking up beef for these chuck steak niggas.
Right.
And I said,
Please,
what?
niggas, we remember.
And, and I was like, damn, that was 20 plus years ago, and you really remember. And that shit inspired me. Like, I used to walk in that office. I remember I had battles with Gilly and Jay-Z and Dame Dash was just walking by, and it was like, we need you to judge it. Come in. You know what I'm saying? Like, that was an energy, man, that I think we need to have.
So
again.
both of you brothers was both political. And by the way, I shut the fuck up when y'all was talking.
Right.
Because, you know, sometimes if you don't know The fuck you talking about?
It's all good.
So, some of the best things to do is shut the fuck up. So I let you, but that's one of the programs that, you know, I see Steve Stout. Let me say this we didn't see eye to eye. But who he is now and who I became to be is one of the people I honor. He's in Africa saying, fellas, I'm opening a record label. I want us to own our own masters.
That's dope.
Hoite. That's Puerto Rican. I'm sorry. I know I'm fucking African proverb up with Spanish proverb, but it's the same proverb.
That's right.
He's in Africa telling, because you know what's the most popular music there is right now?
Yep.
Afro fucking beats.
That's right.
I'm sorry.
That's right. No.
I'm sorry. Malcolm X is coming out of me. Look, I don't know if it's Dirty Red, Malcolm X. Look, he's in Africa telling people,
I love that.
we need to own our own masters. Our masters don't need to own us. What does that remind you of?
Artists who are hot to them right now. And
That's right.
And they can see them in the offices and see them and be inspired and motivated.
That's what I think is the solution.
Yeah. No.
That's one of the things.
I'm sorry.
I felt that. And, you know, we need to really make that connection back to the continent. Because our brothers and sisters on the continent, they're really doing something. They're really,
Africa.
Yeah, they're regaining control.
Yes.
You know, they're looking at their natural resources. They're not allowing themselves to be exploited. When I was in Senegal, this brother is taking over all that cocoa that is shipped to Switzerland and other places to make chocolate. He says, nah, we need to do this right here. You know, all those natural resources, we need to make that bridge again. You know?
Yeah.
Yes. Man, I'm be honest, man. You want to say something?
No.
Okay.
I'm feeling the vibe.
I'm so honored, man, because you know what? As a hip hopper, as a person that, you know, I'm 46 years old. Hip hop is 50. So that means that I was listening to hip hop in my stroller. So I don't remember. I mean, did I say something smart? The way he's the
stroller.
Yeah, I mean, I have a rhyme. I said, roller. Hip hop is older than me. I listened to it in my stroller. It didn't make sense never until now, but it's true.
Yeah.
You being the hip hop man, the nightlife man, and when I was googling you and I'm going through it, it's like Friday and Saturday night he lit, and then this is Sunday morning. I said, this is dog. But Chris, let me because I know how hard it is for your job, right? So many people look at the person that runs the marathon at the end. They say, all right, cool, I like that. Nobody understands the marathoner at the beginning. And then especially the New York Marathon, you got to run through each borough.
Right.
I'm going to be honest with you. I'm born and raised in New York. There's certain boroughs I just won't go to. You have to go through them all.
Right.
How do you balance that?
And just, you know, be the same person in Brownsville that you're going to be on the Upper East Side.
Let me critique you just a little bit.
Yes.
There's no way you could be the same way in Brownsville that you can be in Howard Beach.
Yes, you can, brother.
Yeah?
Yes, you
Explain
can.
that to
Yes,
me,
you-
please.
Because
I like how you took a shot without us. We don't like it. Come on. We together. Come on.
Yeah.
We together. Solid. Okay, you could be the same person in Brownsville and Howard Beach. By the way, about 12 minutes away. Maybe 15.
Well, first of all, the Howard Beach, the Pelham Park, all those communities.
Pelham Parkway?
Right. All those communities that we once knew, they're not anymore.
Really?
Yeah, the Little Italies, all these areas. When we grew up, there were certain areas you couldn't go to Bensonhurst.
No.
You know, you couldn't go to Bay Ridge. These areas have now become one.
You said Hawkins, right?
Right.
You was Hawkins.
Right. And so, if you come with the same things, and we all want the same things, we want to be able to raise our families, educate our children, live in a safe community, and be gainfully employed. That's the same across the board. And as I sit in these different communities, they all want the same. Communities have been denied the same. I have, when I go to a Howard Beach, which I won when I ran, just as I won our communities, I'm saying the same message. We have to make sure if we don't give the opportunities to all these children, then the children that they're raising, they're not going to have the opportunities. And that's what we have to make sure that we're doing. And that's our message. My message is the same and it's consistent. And it is what I'm going to stand by. And I'm gonna give it my all. You know, I know what we're doing. You know, we're down here now. Telling one of the things we're doing while we're down here, we're going to be talking to the international community. People are looking at us internationally and saying that the way you are handling these crises, that people need to duplicate.
I want to give you a gift. This is from my friend. He's from Queensbridge. He's from Queensbridge. His name is J-Rock. He did time in prison just like my son. He came home, he flipped, and he's a construction worker now. He's part of the union. He didn't ask me to do this at all. He might be embarrassed. I bought this personally. So this is the book that I bought from him personally, and I want to give it to you. It's called Life in Queensbridge by my brother, J-Rock.
Love it.
I can't even tell you how much time he did in prison. I don't know.
But brothers and
he's been locked up since I was 11. But this is a message that he asked.
Question I will ask him: how important is union labor and the unions to his administration in New York City?
And I said, listen, when you look at the fact, first of all, I think I'm the first union member that has ever been the mayor of the city of New York. What I did when I became mayor, I settled all the union contracts. 94% of our union contracts are settled, and when you make a deal with the union leaders, you have to go and let the members vote. We're getting 98% ratification rate. All these union members, I have over 300,000 employees in the city of New York, and they're all saying that no one has given us what you have given us. Finally, given us the pay scale. The human service workers, which are overwhelmingly women and women of color. They have been denied for years on the campaign trail. I said, I'm going to make you whole. When I become mayor, we're going to give you the salary you deserve. We just gave them the salary increase they deserve. These are the folks who are doing all those human services, you know, childcare, daycare. So when you look at the union members, and you see, I was just in Florida. I was just in Hollywood, Florida, I think a month and a half ago with all of my construction, my trade. We get ready to make a deal to build housing using union pension funds with the city. And so when he talks to his membership, he'll tell you, you got a blue-collar mayor, a union member, and I'm always going to be a union member. I got a union pension, and I know how important it is, and we have stood up for our unions, man. They'll tell you in a minute. I had all these major unions endorsement, DC 37, 32BJ, TWU, you go down on the list. You know, they've been with me from the beginning, and so I hear them, you know, good union-paying job.
God damn, let's make some noise for Now you went to John Jay College.
Yes.
I went to
Louise.
Went to John Jay?
1 year. Yeah.
Right.
Wait, this is what's going on.
Right.
John Jay shit.
I went to Martin Luther King, which is right down the block, and then went to John Jay.
Interesting. That's
John
right.
Jay had more girls though.
Way more.
Let's keep it real.
But you know what?
Nobody had girls in Martin Luther
LaGuardia
King.
was right next door to Martin Luther King.
No, LaGuardia.
So all of it.
You was in Queens a little too much.
It took me 14 years, man, to get my degree. 14 years, one class at a time. I'm never gonna beat you with brilliance. I'm gonna beat you with endurance. I'm gonna wear you down, man.
I like
you know
that.
what I'm saying?
That's a bar. That's a bar.
Wait, let me say, you be taking my shit. Look, you know what I say? What did I say, Ross? I say, everyone else might have had better product than me, but they're not gonna stay outside as long as me. That's pretty much the same shit.
It is.
You're a Virgo, you're dyslexic.
It is.
You gotta relax.
You know what I'm saying?
Yo, Virgos is wild.
We run the city. Yo, I'm gonna be honest, man. I invited Mysonne because Mysonne really loves our community.
Yeah, no,
He
brother's
really is
authentic.
the guy that if something, happens, he's there.
Yeah.
So I didn't ask his agenda. I just asked him to be here.
Yes.
And I loved it that because he's genuine. So I didn't want to. But we all have the same goal.
Definitely.
That's right.
We want our city to be better.
That's
Right.
it.
I wanna move back.
You're a smart man.
I wanna move back.
Yeah.
But I need something. Not from you. Not from you neither.
You just need something.
Maybe from you. But, what do you say to these residents that come, they say, man, New York is too expensive. Then when I get there, I see, certain bums outside my house. Then when I get there, I see there's rats outside my house. When I get there, I see everyone smoking weed. By the way, Amsterdam is one of the best places I've ever been in my life, and drugs is legal everywhere. I love it. Not just weed.
Right.
This motherfucker's snooting heroin right there, like happy as hell. What's up? I'm sorry, I know this is not politically correct.
Right.
But there's people in Amsterdam, and there's no crime. There's no crime. Like, holy moly guacamole. Is that the next thing? Let's make heroin legal?
They tried in Portland.
Because y'all was giving out free needles and shit.
Yeah, because we found there's a needle injection site. We found that if you create the environment, if people are going to use, you should create an environment where they could do it safely and they could get the counseling that they deserve. Dr. Fassan, who's in charge of my deputy.
Like the wireless free zone?
Yeah.
You ever seen The Wire?
Yep.
You seen
Not
it?
like that.
Okay. I mean, that's what it sounds like.
But that's a true story.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
Yes,
That drug-free zone?
Yeah, that's
in
what they were
Baltimore
doing. And back in that Baltimore,
it's all based on fact.
Did they have crab legs still?
Well, they
Did they
got
have
the best crab legs.
crab
in the world.
legs?
Crab legs is the best.
CNC?
They got whole crabs in.
No, I'm fucking with you. I'm fucking with you.
Yeah, but you should come back. The city is back.
No, I'm back, but I leave.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna lie. I come, I'll be like, I love it. I bring my kids. My kids don't want to leave.
They're smart. The next
my
generation.
kids don't want to leave. My kids, they love the hood.
Yeah.
They want to go play basketball.
Yeah.
I'm like, we live on the beach. I'm like, fuck the beach, Dad.
Yeah. That's how they
You don't
don't
work too hard for you to come back.
We got. Listen, man. We got to do another few stops, and
Yes. Yes.
but really good, man. Let's catch up when we get back.
Yes, sir.
Please.
Definitely.
We got a lot to do. You know what I'm saying?
But let me just say this the right way. I thank you. I know you get scrutinized. I know you get chastised. But you're the first. I was the first to do reggaeton. I was the first to work with Swiss Beats. I was the first to work with Scott Storch. I was the first to work with Neptunes. I was the first to do reggaeton. They laughed at me. I made it to my destination. But when I popped in my GPS, that shit didn't come up. I killed that. I like the way I killed that. But no, it's real talk.
Right.
When I popped in to the places that I wanted to be, GPS navigation wasn't even invented. So when I complained about traffic in Greater Ventures, and I didn't leave Van Wyck, I knew this is what life is. Meaning, people wanna hurt you before you get to your destination. I heard you say that my greatness will not be recognized until I'm out of office.
That's right.
That's what I like.
And guess what? I respect that. But I want to take a little bit before we get up out of here and tell you, being a renegade is also the same thing. Barack Obama didn't legalize marijuana throughout the whole 50 states because he didn't want to be the black person to legalize.
Right.
But I'm going to tell you something. Trump will do the exact opposite to be the exact opposite. So I want to give you that little bit of advice, and I can't give you no political advice at all. Listen to me. I told you I'm dyslexic, resource room, special education, everything. Put it all together, ADD, all that. But the advice I can give you is, fuck it.
That's it.
Listen, and
hold on, because it's 2 words.
Right.
Fuck it.
Put it on the t-shirt.
This is what I'm giving it to you, because you can do it. And that's what he was saying intelligently.
Right.
And I told you I'm simplistic, man.
Right.
Eric Adams, Brooklyn, Queens, guy who I know knows Nas album just as much as me. Knows Biggie album just as much as me. Just think about it one time.
Right.
The same way Trump says fuck it sometimes. That's my only advice.
And we said that January 1st, 2022, when we became elected. And trust me when I tell you, we're still saying it.
And I'm gonna just move to New York just to vote for you again.
My man.
Just for like 2 weeks, and then I'm gonna get the fuck up out of there. Guess what my quiet advice is? Guess what my quiet advice is?
Yes.
Fuck it. Oh, okay. Okay, we got a special guest. I forgot. Hold on. Sit down.
We have a special guest.
Okay.
It's part of our culture, part of hip hop.
Okay.
He's here to give us a certificate.
Okay.
Commissioner Keon.
What's up, brother? How are you?
So I've come on behalf of the mayor of Miami Dade-County and the commissioners of Miami Dade-County to show my appreciation to Drink Champs.
Thank you.
Okay.
Drink Champs has done wonderful things for our community. To bring about a lot of conversation that we all need. Great opportunities to laugh and learn. And today, to hear this political speech, it's been wonderful. And so I'm presenting this certificate of appreciation as Miami Dade-County Commissioner on this day to you all for all of your wonderful work. Thank you so much. Thank you.